gonna go for its ugly phase. You can't help it. You've just got to go with it. But the Buddha seems happy, and if the Buddha's happy, I'm happy. Oh, I'm gonna suck this glass. It's my favorite thing to do. Oh yes, guys, how good does that look? Killifish seem to be the happiest fish in the world. So in the previous vlog, guys, I set up the awesome Buddha aquarium behind me. It's going through its first ugly phases already. So I set it up about 3 days ago. You saw it a few days ago, but there's always a slight delay on video releases and boring stuff. But yeah, let me just show you the ugly side of the aquarium hobby and what you can expect to happen to your tanks after a few days of setting up. A few days to a week. It can vary so much depending on the tank. Okay, here it is. Do you guys see what I mean? It's got that sort of tannin tinge to the water, so it's kind of a yellowy brown. If you have a look here on this rock, you can see where that snail's crawling. There's quite a lot of mulm and detritus from the snails and everything. We want that though, it's all good. It's not going to hurt. Soon we'll be able to get some nice fish in there that will clean that up. It's fish and shrimp, to be fair. So we'll be using 𝗲𝗾𝗀𝗀𝘀 shrimp and I'll be using 𝗲𝘂𝘀𝗶𝘀𝗀𝗀 catfish. I just find that a good amount of 𝗲𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀 at this stage just does a really good job. They're my go-to cleanup crew, 𝗲𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀𝗀 and 𝗲𝗃𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 shrimp. And it's like I said before, guys, this tank here did exactly the same thing when I first set it up. A few days in, it went all like brown like the other one is. I've got that big piece of wood coming inside there as well, so that's a big piece of bogwood. That also caused lots of tannins, but look at it now, it's doing great. I mean, I definitely need to give it another trim. But anyway, moving on back to this tank, what we need to do now is a massive water change. I've been doing one every day, 50%. I might even do a bigger one this time. I've got a new pump that just takes all the water out nice and quickly, so I can get this down to where I want it and back up again in the space of like 15 minutes. It's a big tank, remember, there's like 300 litres in here. So yeah, pump in, dirty water out, fresh water in. Oh yeah, there we have it, looking super fresh again. It's gonna go for its ugly phase. You can't help it, you've just got to go with it. We don't want it to happen, but it's gonna happen. Couple of weeks it normally takes, and then everything should start getting right again. And if it doesn't, then you need to change something. Maybe your lighting will be too high. I know it's not going to be on this one because I can just tell now. I've got to that point where I can just look at the tank and see that it's going to be right. And I can look at that purling already. So when you take the water level down like this and refresh it again, you're putting a load of CO2 into the water system by, you know, gas exchange from surface being disturbed, and you'll find that you just get loads of your plants purling. People think it's the bubbles from the water. There is a combination of that, but when you see like water bubbles coming up just like that in the center, that's the plants purling, producing oxygen from the new CO2 that's been put into the water column. I have to say, guys, I absolutely love this tank. I'm glad I chose those reds that sweep up this side, just because it just gives you something else to look at. And I love these odd pebbles in the foreground that are the completely wrong color. Why not? And a couple of little dots of red here and there as well. Absolutely loving it. And what's really good, so this is the Juncus repens that I've never used before. Look at those roots that are coming down from it. Those roots are brand new, so that's obviously really happy in this environment, loving the light. And normally if you've got one plant that's doing well, it means the rest are going to be doing well in their own sort of way. Already the 𝗲𝗃𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, I don't even know, I'll put it up on screen. This stem plant here is doing so nice. It's got really vibrant straight away, and it looks so good next to that 𝗲𝗾𝗀𝗀𝗀, doesn't it? Oh, I can't wait for this thing to just sort of grow in. To be honest though, I might need to do a trim up of those background plants soon, because I don't want them to sort of overtake the scape quickly. I might hack them right back, let them grow in again, nice and thick. But the Buddha seems happy, and if the Buddha's happy, I'm happy. Right guys, it's now the next day again since that last shot. I've done another 50% water change. Remember, in the first few weeks, or week at least, you need to be doing regular water changes, otherwise you're just gonna get algae. Unless you've got like a low powered light, and then it's a little bit different. But anyway, it's time to step up our game. I've got a whole cleanup crew above me, behind me, not above me. I've just come back from 𝗲𝗾𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 tournament, and they've kitted me out with an awesome cleanup crew. Click subscribe. So yeah, in goes 10 𝗲𝗾𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 shrimp. Really good start that's going to be. I mean, in a tank this size, I'm probably going to want more than 10, but it's a good number to start with. And now get to work on some of this brown diatom algae. You're starting to see appear a bit on the moss. There's quite a bit dotted around actually. And to be honest, I'll probably come in the studio tomorrow morning and it'll all be gone. Like the whole thing will just be looking insanely perfect. And that's especially true because of what else is going in. And then of course we've got the 10 𝗲𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 catfish. Everyone knows how good these guys are. They're just constant work. Look, straight away, oh, I'm going to suck this glass. It's my favourite thing to do. There's another one there, look, just on that rock, right in the centre. Beautiful little fish, to be fair. They're the sort of fish you can put in any aquarium with any fish and they don't seem to be bothered by them. They don't even hunt them. Look at this now. We've got a Mano swimming everywhere. We've got the Ottos. Awesome to see. I mean, this light is about to tick off. So let's get the last fish in. And last but certainly not least, guys, we've got 2 of these bristlenose plecos. Oh, where's he going? Where's he going? So I went for the albino ones, or albino, as you guys say in America, because I've only got 1 of these in my home aquarium. I haven't got any in the studio at all, so it's nice to have a change. Remember, we've got three. Oh, it's not even on. We've got 3 of the darker ones, the grey or black style ones in the Amazon aquarium. So I wanted to have something a little bit different in this one. And these are only little tiddlers as well. I've got 2 of them. The other one has just completely gone straight away. Absolutely no idea where it is, but it's in there somewhere. I'll catch more footage of it hopefully tomorrow.
Right guys, I want to make some changes to the racking system you can see behind me. So currently we've got 2 racking systems with tanks on each one. 12 tanks in total, but what I want to do is move them all across onto one system so we've got 3 rows of 3. That frees up a whole nother rack to put on more tanks. I want to get 45cm tanks going on the second rack. The ones on there currently are 30cm cubes, so I don't know, just switching it up a bit. I want to do more fish on one side like I already said, and I've got a lot more shrimp now to add to the whole shrimp system. Another thing is I need to take all the tanks off anyway and thicken up that wood underneath because it's not going to be able to hold that many tanks. The structure of the whole racking system's fine, it's just that wood, I don't trust it.
Oh yes guys, how good does that look? Oh, I absolutely love it. And it's actually been a few days, I'm not going to lie, since I did this. I've just walked back in the room. It's very early, it's like 5 AM, and just it's such a joy to sort of walk into. Like as you come in here now, look at all of that. Looks absolutely great, doesn't it? Now what I want to do next though is I want to redo the scape on the top here. I'm really liking this one. I think I might trim it up to be sort of like a little bit neater. So I think what I'm going to do is take this one out and rescape it. I want to do something completely different to everything we've got up here now. We've got some good looks going on. I mean, they look all different, don't they? Which is what I want. So yeah, this one for the yellows is going to look completely different. I can't wait. There's so much more to do. I mean, they do look nice, don't get me wrong. They're packed for the plants and extremely healthy, but they're not scaped, these bottom ones, are they? They're just stuff, I just chuck stuff in there and that's how they're sat. It's such an interesting like setup to look at. I tend to come in and be drawn to the crystals first, and then I'll sort of look around the top row and make my way down and just make sure everything's okay and all the fish are doing well. Hello buddy, how are you doing? Really, really nice. Look at the colours. So I did have some other killifish as well, but they were very, very shy. I never saw them. So I took those ones back, and now I've got more of the ones that come out in the open a lot more. So that one, and oh, just as I say that, they're not here. So here is the male lyre-tail. Look, I just put some food in so that it would come to the foreground. The snails are having a feast as well, but yeah, he's so cool. Look at his colour. And the good thing about killifish is that they always look like they're smiling at you. Look, he's like, hello. I'm so happy to be here. And the other one down here is exactly this. Where you gone? Ah, there we go. Look, there we go. Look at him. He just looks like he's smiling at us. Like, killifish seem to be the happiest fish in the world. But yeah, it's all so good, isn't it? I was worried that I wouldn't be like looking at the bottom ones because they're down so low, but you do, because you make a point of coming down to see them all. So you just drop all the way down. You just look at everything and it's so good. Again, I need to simplify all of them because it's crazy. There's too much going on. We've got the lamp eyes over here as well. I'm gonna be doing a really cool little nanoscape for them soon as well.
Right, so what am I gonna do with this rack behind me? It's completely empty now. Well, I wanna do a really cool sort of nano tank setup again, but not cubes. I don't want everything looking too much the same. Saying that, he just put together 12 exactly the same tanks on one shelf. But anyway, I've got a load of sort of more rectangular, oblong-y, what's the right word actually for that? We'll go with rectangle tanks, nano tanks. I want to use those for fish. I won't be able to put 4 on the top row, I could probably get away with 3. And I think I'm gonna go with like 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀 guppies. I love 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀𝗀s. I think I love 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀𝗀s more than just regular guppies. I don't know why, it's probably because they stay so small and they've got really, really punchy colors. I mean, I don't know what it is, I just like them, okay? I like how small they are. So I think I'm gonna do a big rack of load of 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀𝗀s. I just think that'll look really cool. Again, doing different scapes in each and every tank. And with the fact that they're rectangle tanks, you can do a little bit more scaping wise. Even though it's only a little bit bigger, it seems to make a difference in terms of composition. Cube tanks are actually really hard to scape. You're actually quite limited in how it can look. That's not true, ignore that. Your only limit is your imagination. And I have got quite a few cool designs in mind for some of the cubes we've got here. Right, that'll do nicely for now. Just a few plants I had lying around. Might as well stick them in there because they were in a bucket and actually doing surprisingly well considering there was no light or water changes on them. Look at that 𝗲𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀𝗀𝗀. Looks absolutely awesome, doesn't it? It's now been several days, guys, since I first put in the algae eaters, and to be honest, there's not a lot of algae left. We've got a tiny little bit of Fred algae still. There's just a little bit there, but there was way more before. And there's still a little bit of diatoms on the moss, but that, again, is cutting right back. I tell you what, a combination of the cleanup crew and the water changes, it really does make a difference. I get in there with my hands as well and suck out any of the algae that I can see. Anything you can remove with your hands, you should. A lot of the time people are saying, I've got algae problems. Like, well, have you got in the tank? Have you removed some by hand? You've got to do some of the dirty work. If you put in all this extra effort now and the extra cost, obviously, of the cleanup crew, it'll pay dividends later on when your tank is just looking amazing. You know, a couple of months down the line, it'll just be looking after itself and you don't actually have to do a lot at all apart from trim the plants and water change. If you get it right at the start and set it up well, it does normally continue to behave that way for the duration. Well, guys, that is the end of the vlog, so don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and I will see you on the next one.